Avatar The Last Airbender is one of the best shows ever made.
Demon Slayer is top 5 right now.
Failure as an anime man if you haven't watched Demon
Floored
Slayer.
right now.
Avatar. I'm the Avatar.
Avatar, the dead airbender.
Like, I gotta say, Demon Slayer is some gas. This is
That all
fire.
changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Demon Slayer vs. Avatar. These are two of the most monolithic animated series of all time. Today we're pitting them against each other. Not to choose which one is better per se, but to use them against each other to highlight the strengths of the other series. You choose in the comments. I live in a democracy, so one vote per person. Just leave a positive comment about it, and that's how I'm gonna know. You may have heard the expression, where there's water, there's life. There's a significance behind any story that starts with water at its forefront. It's a symbol for new life and new beginnings. Both Avatar and Demon Slayer recognize its power and significance, and both stories actually begin with an underlying weight being placed on the importance of water as a symbol for new beginnings and change. If you don't know what I mean, in Avatar the series opens up with Sokka and Katara's discovery of Aang, who had been frozen in ice for hundreds of years. This discovery sets in motion Aang's entire journey to fulfill his destiny as the Avatar and bring balance to the world. A new beginning. While in Demon Slayer, the story opens up with Tanjiro living a peaceful life with his family. One dark day, Muzan, the commander and progenitor of all demons, attacks and slaughters Tanjiro's family, leaving only his younger sister Nezuko alive. She, like many of the others who have crossed paths with this Dark Lord, has been transformed into a demon. This tragic event turns the wheels to the beginning of Tanjiro's story to become a demon slayer and to find a cure for his sister's condition.
禰豆子は人を食ったりしない。よくもまあ、今しがた己が食われそうになっておいて。
Crazy how well these two series manage to create compelling experiences through their explosive action scenes, slapstick humor, and of course their rich and diverse worlds which suck us in. In The Last Airbender, we're introduced to 4 different bending techniques: water, earth, fire, and air. Each element has its unique properties and a bending style, a fighting style that is different from the other. Waterbenders, for example, can control water in all of its forms: ice, liquid, and steam. The earthbenders, on the other hand, can manipulate earth and change the structure of it. In Kimetsu no Yaiba, we're introduced to the art of breathing and breathing techniques. The characters use these specific techniques to enhance their physical abilities against demons, namely thunder, wind, flame, stone, and water. There's a lot of different animes that have similar elemental magic systems, but you just get the sense that Demon Slayer and Avatar are a cut above. These two animes manage to execute these elemental magic systems gracefully. The movement and the character behind that movement always just comes off as a beautiful thing to watch. There's a certain elegance that I don't feel you find when you're watching a lot of other series. They all move their bodies with precision and stellar technique. It feels like a dance, like a way of life. This isn't just them throwing around abilities hoping to destroy the other with a nuke. There's some finesse to all of this, and I think that's what makes it so beautiful when you're watching these series. In The Last Airbender, you even have the Fire Nation, which uses the most aggressive moves in the series, but it all flows and it's fluid. Much like how a character like Zenitsu from Kimetsu no Yaiba also has a very intense build-up to what he does, but it all comes off as very smooth and buttery when you watch it happening. Everything is graceful. Now, take a deep breath with me as we just soak in how beautiful these worlds really look. 3, 2, 1. Avatar's cast of smiling characters and really cute innocent kids probably eviscerates the entire cast of Demon Slayer. Or at least that's what I thought until I really spent some time thinking about it, right? The cast of Demon Slayer and Avatar would actually have some very competitive fights. This whole contest comes down to a contest of speed. Who actually has the speed advantage in a fight? Sure, from a power level perspective, the benders are going to completely eviscerate, completely smash the Demon Slayers. But if the Demon Slayers can move faster, they can just tear these people up with their swords before they even have a chance. And just based on the way characters like Tengen, Zenitsu, and even a character like Shinobu move, I'm pretty sure the characters in Demon Slayer have a massive speed advantage over the characters in Avatar. I think what it would come down to is, can a fully realized bender land a blow on one of these Hashira before the Hashira has a chance to slice him up? And that's a very interesting question that I'll let you ponder by yourself in the comments. At a certain point, you feel like these worlds blend into one, not only because of the abilities that the characters use, but because of the very landscapes and scenes we watched earlier. Instead of fighting each other, they help contextualize the somewhat similar East Asian references which they both source from. Demon Slayer is set in Taisho era Japan, which reflects a time where Western influences were growing in a predominantly Eastern rooted Japan. If you watch Legends of Korra, we see the same kind of industrial revolution taking place in that society as well. This era represents one of the most significant cultural shifts in Japan, with the emergence of a new middle class made up of professionals, entrepreneurs, and intellectuals. This group had more disposable income than their previous generations, and they spent it well, bro. They spent it on trip, they spent it on entertainment, and of course, this cultural shift is also reflected in charming elements like the Mugen train, creating contrasts with elements like the countryside. It's also well depicted in the outfits that the characters wear, which blend traditional Japanese clothing with their Western contemporaries. While in Avatar The Last Airbender, we get the Water Tribe, which is inspired by the Inuit, Yupik, and other indigenous cultures who just stayed in the most piss-cold regions of the world. The dripped-out blue and white fur jackets that the Water Tribe wears mimic Eskimo gear, while their buildings are what I describe as if MTV Cribs pulled up to the poles for a segment on igloos and Aztec snow temples. The Earth Kingdom and Fire Nation are inspired by various Asian cultures, borrowing swag from mainly China and Japan. While the Earth Kingdom has a simpler, more condensed style based on cities like Beijing and rural China, we even see walls around Ba Sing Se, which are probably meant to emulate the Great Wall of China itself. The air nomads, of course, are inspired by Tibetan Buddhist culture, so their beautiful clothing, structures, towers, architecture, even their whole way of life is heavily influenced by Buddhism. The most fire I think it gets is the Western Air Temple, which is inverted and is pretty much a sky temple. This shit is mad dope. Demon Slayer and Avatar are two series which are rich in terms of their mythological references and the use of the elements to build narrative lines which fit each of these elements. For example, you'll find there's a great significance in both stories beginning in ice or water, and you'll also find a deeper significance in the way they handle an element like fire, with fire being way more noble in Demon Slayer than it is in Avatar. If this gets 300 likes, I'll take it you guys want me to dive deeper into how primary elements like fire, water, wind, earth, and thunder are used in both series. Don't forget you can vote which one won in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Peace.